I'm Anthony Forsyth, consultant with Cause Chambers Westgarth, and I'm delighted to be talking today with Kate Kennedy, Global Human Rights Leader. So what does modern slavery look like, Kate, for an individual who might be experiencing it?
There's lots of definitions of modern slavery or human trafficking, but at its core, you have people who are trapped, can't leave and don't get paid, and they've been coerced into that situation. So for an individual, that may be a young man who's left Burma to go and work in the fishing industry in Thailand because he's come from a desperately poor environment. He goes to see a broker in his village, and that broker makes an arrangement for him to go over to Thailand to work on in a fishing factory or fishing boat. He guarantees that he'll give his first few months' wages, and by the time he gets there, the average rate of debt is $700 per individual. Now, when you're earning $250 per month, you're not going to pay that off in a couple of years. So you're in debt. You're in a debt form of debt bonded labour. So it really resembles that in many places in the world.
So in 2015, the UK introduced modern slavery legislation. What are you seeing in terms of other countries responding in that way?
The UK Act is the gold standard now, and we currently see 18 governments around the world looking very closely at what the UK government has done. In its first year, 700 companies reported, pretty patchy reporting, but we're hoping, and certainly the government is hoping that reporting is going to become more robust as it goes on, and that other countries are going to duplicate that like Australia.
So how can Australian corporations get ahead of the game and really be addressing these issues?
I think companies need to look at what their audiences want from them, and a number of their audiences are going to be already operating in the US and UK, so they're already going to be reporting. So they're going to come and operate in countries like Australia and then need to duplicate that, or want at the very least, consistent reporting. Their staff are going to be increasingly focused on what the moral obligation is. They don't want to work for a company that is making children pick the cotton, that the T-shirts they're selling. So they've got a staff compulsion there. There's also going to be, and we're seeing this around the world, that there's already strategic litigation happening around the world against targeting companies that are not following suit around basic standards around forced and child labour. I also think that regulatory bodies, whether they're informal or formal, are also increasingly looking at it. Stock exchanges, we're seeing that at the moment in the US, are increasingly aware, and investors. Around the Australian inquiry, there was a coalition representing $2 trillion worth of investments that put in a submission to that inquiry. In the US right now, there's another coalition representing $5 trillion that is also putting pressure on different regulatory environments to see reform. So that's another key audience for companies.
Well, thanks very much, Kate. It's been great to get your perspective and some really informative insights into what's happening in this area globally.
And fantastic for the interest. Thank you.